Hey there, gang. Good morning to you all. Hope everybody's having a great start to their weekend. As you can see, I'm solo right now, and that's because Shannon was called away to work. So he's hoping to make it back before the end of the show. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully, he can make it back home and join us for a portion of the show. Just want to say hi to everybody in the peanut gallery. I was, you saw me in between the title slot and the title card and the thing. I was reaching in my pocket to get glasses. I've got like 3 different pairs because I never know how my eyes are going to react. So I got 3 different types that I got to wear. Uh, but so I was reaching in my pocket, so I didn't hit the button quick enough for the title card. Oh well, live production. So let's see. Well, okay, these ones aren't going to work. Let's try these ones. All right. Okay, we got Michael Taylor. Good morning, sir. How are you? We got Gratu Orloff. Good morning, Gratu. Buffalo Bob. That's it. Good morning, Michael Taylor. Ranger Sly, good morning to you. Micah, Graphic Man, good morning to you too, sir. What's it say? Shannon broke parole. Hope he can bribe the judge. There you go. And Mr. Breen, how are you, Eric? Good morning, sir. You guys will have to bear with me because usually I have Shannon to play off of when checking the chat and everything. So I'll try and be diligent as best I can. And today we're going to do one of my favorite topics. And that is, I got a whole stack of things to show here. And it's because it's one of my favorite topics. Like I said, it is, it's one of my favorite groups. And no, not the banana splits. Although I do like the banana splits. No, it's one of my favorite topics, and it's no. It's not the Hair Bear Bunch. No. All right. It's one of my favorite topics, and that is the Hanna-Barbera Super TV Heroes. Yes, sirree. I was born in '62, and I reached 5 years old, and by 5 years old, Saturday mornings, the TV was my babysitter. I'd get up, mom and dad put the TV on, gave them a chance to get another hour or two sleep in the morning. So I would watch, and a whole new world opened up to me in 1967. Now, these cartoons, some of them started in 1966, but 66, 67, 68, in my opinion, just my opinion, because that's all I can speak for. Those 3 years had the best cartoons of my life. Now, I know there's been great cartoons since. I love the DC Justice League Unlimited series, the Brave and the Bold series, X-Men, couple of the Hulk cartoon series all through the years. Loved all of those. But for me, those 3 years, well, actually 2 years. So because I missed 66. I was too young. I don't remember that. But 67, man, 67, the Saturday morning lineup was loaded. I mean, loaded with great cartoons, you know. And if any of you are as old as I am and can remember those, it was just a magical Saturday morning for me. I loved it. You had Space Ghost, of course. You had Birdman, Mitor, Shazam, Herculoids, all those great Young Samson and Goliath. Oh, great stuff. Great stuff. So this morning, I'm going to show a few things that I have in my collection. It's not just going to be comic books. It's also going to be cartoon stuff. I got some cards to show. I got some toys to show. And I've got something I think it's very unique. I've never seen anybody else say that they've had these or shown these on YouTube before. So I'm hoping that we'll save that for last. But it's very unique. But I've kind of set up shop here behind me, as you can see, with stuff, and I'll be showing you what I've got as we go along. But I want to start off with a little bit of the comic books. But first, let's go right to the peanut gallery again here, and I'm gonna try my other pair of glasses because these ones are not doing it for me here. Don't get old, folks. All right, let's go back. Let's see. Graphic Man. To hear Doc talk about the banana splits, you have to go behind his special paywall. There you go. Fans only, right? Ranger Sly. Well said. TV was our babysitter in those days. Whoops. Those days of Saturday mornings. Now you and Shannon are our babysitters. While I'm certainly glad that we can perform a public duty here and have all you guys hang out with us. Love it. I love it. Gratu says, Hanna-Barbera allowed kids to use their imagination. Absolutely. Something I don't think gets done nowadays. None of these heroes ever had origin stories, right? You were just dropped in the middle of their adventures. Boom, that's it. Here you go. Hope you enjoy it. Now, like something like Mytor gave, like in the opening bumpers, they gave you the little rundown of how he got to be Mytor, which was pretty cool, you know. It says you were plunged right in. Yeah, there you go. You plunged right in and had to make up your own backstories. I loved it, and we'll get into it as far as Space Ghost goes because they've had to. DC Comics gave him an origin. Don't think he needed one. Not real super excited about the one they gave him. No, I liked it the way it was. Space Ghost he's a superhero guardian, and he had his 2 wards, and you were dropped in the middle of their adventures, and off we go. All right, what else we got? Mr. Eric Breen, those of you who are as old as you would rather forget. Thanks, Eric. Michael Taylor, Doc, remember Gigantor? Now, I know Gigantor and I've seen Gigantor, but back in those days, we didn't have cable. We had like 3 TV channels, you know. And maybe if you're lucky, you might get a 4th or 5th on UHF, you know, and tune in your rabbit ears and get them, you know, so you'd get some other stuff. But I never got to see Gigantor until probably the 80s. I would say mid 80s. So I got deprived. Gratu says, Gonna Find a Cave by the Banana Splits is a legitimate great song. I like the Banana Splits. I was just, you know, I was just teasing, but Banana Splits were a mainstay for me when I came home from school. It was on the first show on when I came home from school, and you get to see, you know, they had some of those cartoons and what was it, Arabian Nights, Three Musketeers, I think it was another one, and then of course they had the all-time greatest show of all, Danger Island. Uh-oh, Chongo! Who remembers that? All right, Michael Taylor, Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse. I never got to see those until probably late 70s, I think, was when I saw those. Ranger Sly, Hanna-Barbera ruled the 60s cartoon. They did their best work back then. I would have to agree with you wholeheartedly, Ranger Sly. Like I said, those 3 years, those were awesome years for me with those cartoons. 69 changed everything because I know there was parent teachers groups that were complaining that there was too much violence in the cartoons and stuff like that. But you know what? It never occurred to me to be violent because of these cartoons. These cartoons taught me um, basically helped set my moral compass. You know, my parents did, my church did, and those cartoons did. Good versus evil, good wins. You know, be good, don't be bad. You know, it was as simple as that for me as a kid. You know, but I never it drives me crazy when I hear people like that, or like Three Stooges. They're too violent, or uh, Bugs Bunny, Roadrunner, you know, Wile E. Coyote, too violent, too violent. You know what? Never once after watching the Three Stooges, and I watched them all the time because they were on every afternoon. Um, not once after watching the show Three Stooges did I ever think, hey, maybe I'll take a saw blade to my brother's head. You know, it's like, come on. You gotta as a parent, you gotta take responsibility and know that your kid understands this is just, fake. I mean, okay, I'm done pontificating. All right, we'll get one back here, and then we'll get in there. Oh, Gray Man is here. Hey, Gray Man, welcome aboard, sir. Great to have you. Topeka Mike is here as well. Thank you very much. Good morning to you. Let's see. That 2-page spread in the books got my hopes up every year. Okay. Me too. I saw Gigantor in the 70s. Yeah. Yeah. Because we didn't get cable until 72. And I got a whole different story about that because, that was an adventure. Eric Breen, what do you got to say this time, Mr. Breen? Those who said the Three Stooges were too violent could have been one of them. That just drives me crazy when I heard that. But I was so disappointed when the 69 Saturday morning lineup came out. The only redeeming value I saw out of that was Scooby-Doo. And I still love Scooby-Doo to this day. And when I hear that original music, I love it. I love it. That takes me right back. Scooby Dooby Doo. I love that. I love that. Takes me right back. All right, but we're here to talk about some superheroes, Hanna-Barbera superheroes, and we're gonna start off with Space Ghost. It was a one-shot, and I'm sorry, but I don't have the information. Usually, I have them on the back, and I didn't get a chance to do them. I believe this is like 66, 67. Let me get the thing down here. There we go. So, and this is a one shot. They only did one of them, but it was pretty good. I mean, who didn't love Space Ghost? You know, I wish the buttons worked. Freeze ray, energy ray. He had every ray known to man on his wrist. But I loved it. So I was lucky enough to get this back in the 80s. It's a rough copy. It's been well loved, but it's got a nice home now. We take care of it. All right. And then in 68, 68, 69, I believe, is when this series came out. And that is the Hanna-Barbera Super TV Heroes. Now, I got these out of order, and I don't remember which one is which. Oh, here we go. Some of them I got written on here, so you'll have to just bear with me. I've got one written on. The other ones I do not know. All right, we'll find out together. So this is number one, it looks like. Right here was on the newsstand, January 4th, 1968. And it's got the Herculoids. It's got Birdman. You got Moby Dick. Got Mytor. Love my Thor. Got young Samson and Goliath. Great stuff. We're going to open it up so we can take a peek at it. So, all righty. I got to admit, this is a really nice copy of this book, too. I'm not usually one to talk copies, but boy, this is one of the best copies I have. It's great. You know, I hope that shows up okay. It's hard for me to tell on mine, but it's got Herculoids, and then we got Birdman, and in the middle of these, the gold. Whoop! Where did everybody go? There we go. It's got these things in the middle of the book, you know, just like factoid things, you know. Birdman. I gotta admit, I love all those superheroes, but if I had to pick one as my top one, it's Birdman. I really, really liked Birdman. There was a lot of aspects of it. I loved his voice. Number one, he had, he had a great superhero commanding voice, you know. And although they list his secret identity as being Ray Randall. I forgot where I saw it. It's in the TV guide, I think. They say he was Ray Randall. You never ever see him out of costume, so you never see Ray Randall. So I always thought that was weird. It's like why would they give him an alter ego and never show him, you know? And of course, then you got some young Samson and Goliath, you know. Great stuff. Great stuff. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed these. And this, let's see, which one is this? We'll have to open it up to find out. Stay tuned for more. There we go. This is number 7. So we'll save this one for oh. Woo! That was close. Uh-oh. Yep, the dreaded tape terror. Dreaded tape terror. Okay. All right. Well, that's not going to happen again. All right. That's number 7. Trying to find. I'm sorry, guys. I was rushing around this morning, woke up late, and it's freezing up here. It was like, I think like 9 degrees this morning. So it's kind of chilly up here. I had to get the wood stove going. Number 4. All right. Unbelievable. Thank you for putting up with me. All right. Worst comes to worst. We'll just open them all and go back through them that way. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed all these cartoons. This is number 5. Of course, this is not going to be easy. Now, oh. Okay. And this hoodie that I'm wearing, I bought about 2 years ago. It was on online, and I saw it. Of course, when I see it's like a knockoff. I don't know what it, because you can see this isn't exactly a right insignia, you know, but it was still Space Ghost merch, so I had to get that as soon as I saw it. So, all right. So, oh my gosh, man. Sorry, guys. This is why I have Shannon here, is to keep me in line. He's the knowledgeable one. Okay, here we go. Number 2. We got Shazam. We got the Galaxy Trio, which was part of the Birdman cartoon half hour. And we got, Herculoids. Yeah, I didn't mind the art. I don't, I think it was pretty good. I mean, when you're a kid and you're watching cartoons, to me, they look the same as the cartoons, So, it's Birdman and the Galaxy Trio. Birdman! Okay, so that was number 2. And now I want to catch up on the chat real quick. Oh man, my eyes are horrible. I wish I could. Let's see if I can. Okay. There we go. I enlarged things. Okay, so let's find out what was going on in the chat while I was screwing up trying to figure out which was the order. I can't believe I did that. So amateurish. Okay, let's see. Michael Taylor, the 67 Batman Adventures was good. Yes, yep, absolutely. I was a fan of the Superman Batman Adventure Hour. I wished back then I had gotten the Superman Aquaman Hour. That was shown on Sunday mornings in my area, but it was on a channel out of Massachusetts, which we didn't get. So I didn't get to see those cartoons till like 77. They were putting them on like 7 in the morning on some cartoon show. And yeah, it was so before my dad used to give me and my brother a ride to school. Well, actually, he gave me a ride to school. My brother still took the bus, but he had to go by the high school. So I would get a ride with him. So I would watch that. And then right after that, it would be time to go to school. So that I didn't get to see those cartoons, which were pretty cool, from Filmation till 77. All right. Gratu, I can't count the number of times I detonated some dynamite that I got from. Yeah, really. Yeah. Michael Taylor, yeah, cartoons will never be as good as the ones we grew up on. Yeah, I feel that way, but that's, I know there are great cartoons out there because like I said, I loved the Justice League Unlimited, where I finally got to see characters like Metamorpho and stuff like that in cartoon. And Metamorpho was, speaking of the Superman Aquaman, I believe Metamorpho was scheduled to be on there, as well as Martian Manhunter, but for some reason they didn't do those. All right. Cartoons making kids violent was a big tub of hogwash. Yeah, I believe that. Not once after watching Looney Tunes did I build an elaborate trap dropping an Acme anvil on a flightless bird. I agree. Graphic Man, Space Ghost Gold Key, March 1967. Thank you, sir. Ray Randall, I thought his name was Harvey. No. I'm sorry. I am not a fan of Harvey Birdman. And I'm just sorry. I thought it was blasphemous. I can appreciate the humor in it and everything, and I did watch some of them, but I'm sorry. No, no, no. I want Birdman to be remembered. Birdman. You know, that's my Birdman. Harvey Birdman, attorney at law or anyone? No. Graphic Man, don't worry, Ranger. He'll get around to Harvey Birdman. He even has a figure of Harvey. No, no, I don't. No. I don't have any figures. Oh, I think Micah knows my feelings on Harvey Birdman. All right, here we go. Take your time, Rod. Last thing we want to see is a tape pull. Yeah. Boy, that was a close one, too. Even though it was on the back cover, it still would have bothered me. Tavika Mike says, sounds right, or was that the bird's name? Boom, boom. Eric Breen, Micah was telling me the other day that he always wanted to see Space Ghost rendered by Gil Kane. Yeah, I heard that same story, Eric. I think there's something to that rumor. Apparently, I visit Breen in some strange astral form and tell him all kinds of things. All right. Okay, back to the comics. Let's see which one this one is. This should be the last one. Then I'll have them in order, and then we can move forward appropriately. All right. This one here is really well loved. What is this? This is number 3 right here. This one here, like I said, is very well loved. I actually got to upgrade this one. It's got a really nasty rip in the cover right here and in the back right here. But it's a cool looking cover. The other one I had a big section. The title was taken out. But I mean, that's a great cover. I love the white with the red logo popping out and Space Ghost right there. You know. And let's see. Oh, this one had Creature King in it. And we got Shazam. Like I said, the artwork to me was fine. I never, as a kid and even now, it doesn't bother me. I think it's good. I think it kind of not enhances, but adds to the cartoon for me. Just great stuff. That's number 3. And was this number 4? Yep. Here we go with number 4 with the Herculoids. I always like the Herculoids when they do the opening credits and whatnot. And he does, Xandor does that thing where he goes up on these vines and he goes boom back into it's like a pro wrestler going into the ropes. He goes into the ropes, boom, boom. I thought that's pretty cool. Well, out in the backyard, we had a number of trees. There was a big pine tree, and there was like 3 different saplings. I believe they were oak saplings, and you could walk out on this branch, and these saplings went by. And I tried so hard to make those do what they did for Xandor. I don't know how many times I fell to the ground. Now, you got to understand, that branch was like maybe 4 feet off the ground. So it wasn't like I was falling, 10 stories or anything like that. And when you're a kid, you bounce back, So you just I would try it and I'd miss it and go flying back onto the ground. Oh my gosh, man, that was fun. That was so much fun. It was so much fun just being a kid, and like Gratu said earlier, using your imaginations. It's just I really, really enjoyed being a kid. I was very lucky to grow up in a house where we had a huge backyard, had forest out there, trails, a pond where we could go play hockey in the wintertime, stuff like that. A lot of fun. Let's see. Is this number 5? It is number 5. Number 5 with Shazam, Birdman. Who else we got? Moby Dick and Mighty Mightor. Mightor. Did they have most of the heroes? The only one I can't think of is Samson, young Samson. But most of the other Hanna-Barbera heroes of that time, they had the perfect voices for, being a hero, that very deep, very strong, very commanding voice. I mean, that was half the thing for me. Half the enjoyment for me was just listening to him talk, and it's just like I thought all the superheroes talked like that. So, but this one here has got some, let's see, there's Mightor in here. There we go. There we go. So I don't know, how many of you out there have these in your collection? I mean, do they mean as much to you as they mean to me? I mean, this is really, these have a very, 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 very special place in my collection and in my heart. And here we go. Well, I got 2 more of those, so let's quickly look at the chat again. Let me just get that set up. Okay, Ranger Sly was laughing at when Graphic Man says apparently Brain is in some astral form. That's great. Gary Owens, yes, Gary Owens from Laughing, absolutely. Space Ghost, man, Space Ghost. Just and now I picture him in Laughing. He always got his hand to his ear to his hand to his ear. And now we'll be right back. For a while I wanted to be in radio. I really did. I wanted to be a sports broadcaster, but I always marveled at those guys like Alan from After Comics. Oh man, his voice is awesome for radio. And I just told Graphic Man last night, Eric Breen. I just told Graphic Man last night on the phone. I was talking with him, and I told him, you've got a great voice for radio too. So I mean, just I wish I had the pipes, but I don't. Gray Man, I am not that into cartoon comics. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Well, hopefully next week's show will be more entertaining for you. I'm sorry. Doc, there is a YouTube channel called Recollection Road Main Street America. Holy mackerel, that's a long name for a channel. The show is a great image of a great image of Rexall Drugstore. That means a lot to me. Yeah, I know your love for the Rexall, and that's why oh, thank you, Michael. I'll have to check that out. Road Main Street, Recollection Road Main Street, America. I'm going to check that out, Michael. Thank you very much for that. Yes, Rexall drugstores were a big part of my young childhood and getting me in comics. Ranger Sly, I have a few of those Gold Key H&Bs, but they can get expensive. Yeah, see, I was lucky, man. I was lucky to get them when nobody wanted them back in the mid 80s, and I was lucky enough to have expendable income before I, grew up and knew I was going to have responsibilities and bills. So, Mr. Breen, I have a face for it too. Well, that's what I think that's what people used to tell me too. You got a great face for radio. Yeah. But good night, folks. Thanks for coming. I'm here all week. Don't forget to tip your waitresses. But boom. All right. Let's go back to the books. And we're on the last 2 of the Hanna-Barbera Super TV heroes. And this is number 6. Right? I just want to Verify. Yep. This is number 6. Super 6. Super 6. They give their all for Super 6. Who remembers that one? Come on, fess up. Super ATV Heroes. And we go. We got some Space Ghost action. Space Ghost. And some great music for their themes, too. You know, it's just, oh, you hear if you're of that age and love Space Ghost and you hear that opening thing, open a few, I don't know what you call it, notes, chords, whatever. I mean, it's just, woo, love it. That's a little Mighty Mightor. Before they started putting these things out on DVD, and you can get them all, I'm pretty sure now on DVD. I think Hanna-Barbera or Warner Brothers put them out back. I might even back into the early 2000s. But you can get all these. But I used to be a frequent reader and buyer of the Comic Buyer's Guide, and in the back of there you could get videotapes. You could trade videotapes with people from around the country, probably from around the world, and I used to do that. I trade either comics or videotapes. I used to record every wrestling show on, so I could trade wrestling tapes for cartoon tapes and whatnot. But I used to, I tried to get all these videotape and of these superheroes, and then all of a sudden everything changed in like 1988, I think it was. In 1988, a channel started putting on Hanna-Barbera's World of Super Adventure. Oh, it was a godsend because I recorded every episode. I think I recorded them all twice. So I have like complete episodes on VHS of all of them. All the ones that I remember, Frankenstein Jr. and Birdman, Spaceman, Space Ghost, all those. So I got them all. And then on top of that, now I could trade those with other people around the country for comics and stuff like that through the Comic Buyer's Guide. So it was really, really a lot of fun. A lot of fun. These things have been a huge part of my life. And here we go with the last issue of this series. And this is number 7. We got Space Ghost. We got the Herculoids sharing dual billing on the cover. There we go. I'm sorry if I'm not doing it justice with my camera. I apologize for that. Here we go with Moby Dick. Moby Dick was probably the weakest of all of them, all the cartoons. But the good part is there was only one Moby Dick episode wrapped around by 2 episodes of Mightor, which is who you came to watch, At least I did, And Space Ghost. So, and this was from 1969. Yep, October of 1969. So, but that was that series there. It is. Oh man, come on! Got another one stuck. Wow, that's super careless today. I better wake up here. Okay. All right. So, quick jaunt back into the peanut gallery. Michael Taylor says, maybe the Rexall they show is your Rexall. Well, I've got pictures of my Rexall, so I'll know for sure. I was able to go because my hometown where I grew up is the next town over from where I live now. So literally, they they border each other. One's in New Hampshire, right on the border, and then where I live now is the first town in Maine. So it's like I'm right there. So this whole area. This is where I grew up. All these little stores and stuff that I mentioned and stuff, they were all right here within a you know 3 mile radius, maybe at the most. You know. Graphic Man, Gil Kane should have stayed on radio. Poor Gil Kane. No love from the Graphic Man for Gil Kane. Michael, the image is of a big corner Rexall. Mine was part of a big block. It was a big brick block. It housed a bank. It housed the Rexall drugstore, which took up 2 sections of it, and then there was something else, and I can't remember what it was. Might have been like a small restaurant luncheonette on the far right side, if I'm not mistaken. Eric Breen, but then comic book fans would have been cheated out of decades of greatness. I agree, Mr. Breen. Yeah, comics started going downhill in the late 80s, in my opinion. Okay. I mean, I know a lot of people have that same opinion that comics weren't good after pick any point in the 80s. Some say after the crisis, some say after a couple other crises after that or whatever. I don't necessarily feel that way. Now there might be some. I keep messing that up. Some series probably did take a downturn, but there were plenty of other things to go and get if you were lucky enough to have access to them. Like by the end of the 80s, there was probably 2 or 3 comic book stores that I could go to within a 25-mile radius. So I had access to getting independent books or stuff like that, which I enjoyed. But I mean, it was everybody's personal taste. You get a chance to go find something. Like I was introduced to Astro City, Astro Comics, Astro City by Howler Mouse by Tim, and I didn't know anything about it, and I was looking for something new, something good, and he got me hooked on that. And that's a great series all the way through, all the different series. There's been several different series of it, but Astro City is very good because they had their golden age, they have their silver age, they have their bronze age, they have their modern or image age, type of thing. So if you aren't a fan of that and you sound like you're interested in it, definitely check out Astro City. If you can find any of those, they're really, really good. But that's just one. There's plenty others. Yeah, I had to go and search for. It's not like they're gonna fall in my lap. So I'd hit the comic book store and look at the independents. I'd go down through and see what was there, and then I'd hit the independent section in the back of the store, and I'd find all kinds of great stuff. You know, the Green Hornet stuff. A lot of great stuff by Dynamite. We talked about it previously on here. Project Superpowers, and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, it's to each his own. Some folks really don't like what happened after that. Am I a big fan of what happened in the Crisis? First, let me say I love the Crisis story as a 12-issue story. I loved it. I did love it because number one, it was the first chance to see the newly acquired Charlton heroes like Blue Beetle and them, Captain Atom, in with DC Universe. So I love that. The part I hated was they killed off the Flash. The Flash was always my DC guy. He was my DC top guy, and to see him get killed off, I'm like, no, man, how you kill off? I'm sorry, Wally West will never be my Flash. That's just me. That's just me. Barry Allen is the Flash I grew up on. He's the Flash that I want to see in the comics. So. But anyway, I'm going to take this down. There we go. Stop playing with it. All right. So what else we got going on in here? Let's see. I always lose my place, and then I got to try and find out where I am. Let's see. But then comic book fans would have been cheated out of decades of grace, right? Yeah, we did that. Yeah, comics started going downhill. Yeah. And Mr. Breen again, DC, the first 5 or 6 years after Crisis were excellent. Like I said, I don't have as big of an issue with it, I guess, as some folks do. But again, my tastes are different. Everybody's tastes are different. Everybody's entitled to collect and like what they want, and God bless you. So it's just, you gotta just kind of navigate your way up the stream and find the books that tickle your fancy, I guess. So, all right, back to Hanna-Barbera. Now, this is after. Okay, I had one more book I wanted to show. What did I do with it? Where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? Oh, it's I know where it is. Bottom of this pack right here. First, I want to show this before I showed that one. This is another one. Frankenstein Jr., one shot. This was gifted to me by a friend that I met, like I said, through the ads in Comic Buyer's Guide. I've never met him. KB King Bishop is his handle he goes by, and I've been friends with him and traded with him since 1988, 89, somewhere in there. Never met him, but had a lot of good conversations with him, and we shared a lot of great AOKs and whatnot. But this was a gift to me. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, this was a Christmas one, because I still have the note that he wrote me on the back, which is awesome. So, but yeah, Frankenstein Jr. This I never even knew about till I received it in the mail for that Christmas package. So that's pretty cool. That's a unique one. Now, this I did not know existed until like three years ago, I think it was. And I just happened to find out about it, and it was like, what? I found out about it in it's one of those Tomorrow magazines. Back issue, I think, is what it was, and it was about Space Ghost. It was an episode, an issue dedicated to Space Ghost, and it says, Space Ghost in comics. Okay, man, and I'm looking through. Yeah, got it. Wanting to be the perfect collector for, Hanna-Barbera and Space Ghost and all that stuff. And then I saw this one listed. I'm like, I've never even heard of that before. Wow. And the hunt was on. And it took me about, I want to say, close to a year, I think, before I got it, if I'm not mistaken. And this is Golden Comics Digest. And I believe this is number 2. Now, I'm going to put it right up close. The reason I got this was because this was after the TV, Hanna-Barbera TV superheroes. This was the next comic appearance of Space Ghost. It's listed right. He's listed down here. And I never knew about that. So I mean, I don't collect digests usually, except for the DC digest, you know. But when I saw that, I had to get that. So I mean, it's just a little thing, you know. And then they list. Oh, it's so bright. They list all that stuff there. There we go. All the different cartoons, and most of them are what I call the funny animal cartoons, which I was, yeah, I was a fan of them as a kid, but they weren't my favorites. The favorites were always the superheroes. But in here they have, if I can, my fingers can work. Here we go. And does it say who this is by? It doesn't, does it? I don't think it says who it is. But this artwork for this Space Ghost story was pretty good. I gotta admit, I thought it was pretty good for it. It's right here. I mean, that's pretty good artwork, I thought. I can't. Why is it turning? There we go. Okay. I mean, one of those panels right here could pass as a Gil Kane panel. Huh? What do you think, Breen? It's just a short story. There's only 4 panels, 2 per page. But this was Space Ghost's next appearance in comics. So, being a completionist for, you know, Hanna-Barbera superheroes and stuff, I had to hunt this down and pick it up. But this was, you do not, I see a bunch of other ones, all the other ones with the funny animal cartoon characters and whatnot. But this one here rarely comes up, because I'd like to get a second copy. So, I mean, that's pretty good artwork, I think. You know, and that's the end of it right there. So, I mean, if you are a fan of Space Ghosts, or you collect the, you know, any of the Hanna-Barbera superheroes, and Space Ghost is one of them, you might want to think about hunting this baby down to complete that little collection. So, all right. And let's check the chat real quick. Yeah, I know that's why I said, in my opinion, some of those indies I've seen look pretty good, though. Yeah, I mean, it's everybody's, it's your personal taste, you know. There's no right or wrong as far as I'm concerned. You know, some people like vanilla, some people like chocolate, some people like black raspberry. I like black raspberry, but ice cream, that is. So, Topeka Mike, your thumbnail has 3 guys together. Were they called the Impossibles? My thumbnail. Did I? Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's 3, the 3 Impossibles. Sure. Multi-Man, Fluid Man, Coil Man. Yes, they were part of the, they were part of these right here. They're not on this cover, but it's the Impossibles. Frankenstein Jr. Impossibles. There were 2 Frankenstein Juniors wrapped around the Impossibles, if I'm not mistaken, for a half-hour cartoon. So yeah, I'm sure that's what you were looking at. Yep. Nice. Okay. All right. Well, now we're going to take a little departure from comics. I'm going to show some of the some of the toys I have. And I got them back here. So we're going to start out with, I don't have a large Funko Pop collection. I kind of resisted going down that rabbit hole because I just don't even want to think about it because there's so many different ones, but that I'd love to get. Mainly the one I'd love to get now is the Galactus one, the big Galactus one. So that's still, I might get that, but normally, no, I don't spend a whole lot. I get the oddball ones, like I've got where did it go here? I got like Green Hornet. I've got the Green Hornet one. I've got one of the Phantom. I've got one of the my favorite robot of all time, B9 from Lost in Space. Anything to do with B9, I try and get. That's another rabbit hole that I go down. But I love that robot from Lost in Space. But anyway, as it relates to Hanna-Barbera, I've got 3 of their superhero ones. The first one here I'll show you is Adamant. Up and Adamant. Now, I never got to see, I do not remember seeing Adamant and what was it? They had Morocco Mole and Secret Squirrel. I think they were all together on a show, with individual cartoons. But I don't remember seeing that on Saturday mornings. I don't remember seeing Adamant until much later. I think it was in relation to Hanna-Barbera Banana Splits show. But it's pretty cool. To me, something like this, there's not a whole lot of merch out there probably for an Adamant, so something like this where it's like a 3D, I can touch it, hold it, take it out, and hey, this is pretty neat, so that's why I pick up just oddball ones that mean something to me, and of course, speaking of Frankenstein and the Impossibles, here is Frankenstein Jr. And of course, he was voiced by, I believe, Ted Cassidy, who, he had a great voice for that, Let's go, Buzz. Loved his voice. I remember him also. He voiced the character Injun Joe on the Adventures of Huck Finn. It was a half animated, half live action show. That was the theme song, in case you didn't know. But anyway, yeah, Frankenstein Jr. Had to get him. Soon as I knew he was coming out, I hunted him down, got him. So there's that one. And of course, got to have Space Ghost. Space Ghost to me is like the leader of all the Hanna-Barbera superheroes. If they were to form a team, which would be awesome. But so I have to pick up Space Ghost. Anything to do with these Hanna-Barbera cartoon characters, superheroes. I've said it already a million times. You guys are probably sick hearing me say it, but I pick up any merch. And this one here, they had 2 villains, Barack and what was the other? I can't think of it. Zorak. Yeah, Zorak is like the praying mantis guy in the middle, and then Brack is, I don't even know what Brack is, whether he's a cat or I don't know. I didn't get those because I wasn't so into the villains, but Space Ghost, yeah. Space Ghost. So that's the extent of those. As far as Space Ghost, let's see. Whoops, crash. Let's see. These were These were actually done in conjunction with Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Never a fan of that show either. Again, thought it was blasphemous to one of my favorite all-time superhero cartoons. But they made a cool figure. So this is one version that I got. And then this is the second version. And it was just like cool. A Space Ghost action figure? Absolutely. Gotta have that. Gotta have that. Now, Space Ghost was revived in the 80s, early 80s, as part of, I believe it was called Space Stars or something like that. And they did some new episodes of Space Ghost, and I believe they did some new episodes of Herculoids, and they put them on with some other cartoons that were less than interesting to me. But as part of that second set of Space Ghost cartoons, he had a villain, like a arch rival, and he was called the Space Spectre, which I thought is a cool name. And they actually did a figure of that. And this is him right here. So I had to get that. Space Spectre. I love it. So, and I don't think he lights up anymore. I think whatever battery, his fist used to light up, but I can't tell if I just can't push the button enough. But I mean, and that's pretty cool to me. Again, this is all just me, just being an old fossil. And then we got my guy, Birdman. Okay, so Birdman, it's like this little miniature toy. There we go. And this is Birdman and Avenger. And if you look on the back, it shows a bunch of different ones that were going to be coming out. And then down here, they say there were Herculoids coming out. I don't know if they ever did produce the Herculoids line. In with these little guys. Anyway, I know there was a great line of action figures similar to this size here of the Herculoids, and they were awesome, but they're just, and I should have gotten them when I could have, but now they're just too outrageously priced, so I'll never see those. These are two of the 3 Galaxy Trio members, with Galaxy Man, I mean not Galaxy Man, Meteor Man, and Vapor Girl. And the only one I don't have is the, let's see, I don't know where am I pointing? Right here. That's Vapor Man. No, what is his name? Yeah, it was Vapor Man. And Gravity Girl. I had Gravity Girl wrong. Gravity Girl. That was her name. But he was paired up with, what's the guy from Thundar, Ukla. So I never saw that pair anywhere. So haven't had a chance to get that, the third member, which stinks. So, and then this right here, Birdman. This is like a special. It wasn't a custom one because they sell more than one, but they are kind of like special custom ones. I got this off of Amazon. And I know Amazon right now, they still have the 3 members of the Galaxy Trio, which I'm hoping to eventually get. So that would be really cool to complete that set of 4 figures. They actually have a 5th one, 6th one. They have 6 of them because they also have a Falcon 7, who was basically the Commissioner Gordon for Birdman, and one of his arch enemies, which was a member of Fear, FEAR. So, but this was pretty cool, a unique thing you didn't see too often. So when I saw that, yeah, I had to get it. Birdman. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Just put that stuff down. So otherwise I'm gonna knock it down and ruin something. So okay. All right. We'll go check out the chat and then we'll show a few more comic books. All righty. Where are we here? Doc, in the early to mid 70s, I met Adam West and Burt Ward. Oh, lucky you, man. That's awesome. They were in costume, signing at a car show. Each of them signed pictures for me. I wish I still had them. Oh, yeah. If I could get one autograph from, all the superhero stuff, it would be Adam West. I would love to have Adam West sign a picture of Batman. That would have been tremendous. It was so heartbroken when he passed, knowing that he wasn't going to be around, and I wouldn't get my my wish of having an autograph at some show somewhere. That's too bad. But man, that Batman show, very influential to me as a kid. Watched it with my great grandmother. It used to come on just before Big Valley, and that was my great grandmother's favorite show, was the Big Valley. So I would watch Batman with her, and then we'd watch the Big Valley. Eric Breen, when are the snacks? I keep hearing about peanuts. That's what we get paid here. Peanuts. Ba-dum-bum. Meyer, hey Meyer, great to have you aboard this morning. Adamant looks almost the same as a pop. yeah, that would be about the right size, wouldn't it? I never thought of that. You're absolutely right. That's awesome. Michael Taylor, yeah, I love the B9 robot as well. I used to try drawing growing up. Oh yeah, if I had a dime for every time I drew a picture of B9, and I never knew he was called B9 until like in the 80s, because they just called him Robot, I never knew he was B9. I'm like, who the devil is B9? I see it at some comic book convention. B9. Hey, that's Lost in Space Robot, Okay. Just noticed your Space Ghost hoodie. Very nice. Yeah. I was talking about it earlier. It comes with the hood. Got that up. But, so all I need is like the black ski mask or something, cut it out. But it's a knockoff merchandise cheapo thing, because you can tell by the logo isn't right, like I said before. But yeah, it was pretty cool. But hey, Space Ghost, gotta have it. There's a figure called First Appearance. They did a cool Golden Age Batman figure. Yeah, I've got some of the first appearances hanging up over there. I think I got like Wonder Woman, Green Lantern. I think there's another one, but I can't see it. Can't see. I think it's Hawkman. I think that was the other one I got. Yeah, those were some cool figures. Absolutely. Friar Talk, welcome aboard, sir. Welcome to the Peanut Gallery. Great to have you here. I didn't get exposed to Birdman until I was an adult. Well, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, even as a kid. because I really, I just love those cartoons. It's almost probably bordering on obsession at this point in my life, you know. So there's a ton of cartoons that I've watched growing up, and I loved a lot of them. But my love and passion for those Hanna-Barbera cartoons, 66, 67, 68, mostly 67, 68, because I don't know. And I collect TV guides. So when I get those TV guides from those years and I open them up to those Saturday mornings, and especially because I only get the TV guides for my region, because it wouldn't do me any good to get me a TV guide from, you know, Kansas or something, because I didn't live there. But when I get one from my region, the northern New England region, and I see that Saturday morning light up, oh my gosh, man, takes me right back. Takes me right back. Brings back wonderful memories of watching TV. I mean, I haven't mentioned that the Hanna-Barbera Fantastic Four series, um, which was another huge part of it, you know. But I figure everybody knows Fantastic Four. It's been done millions of times as far as people talking about it and whatnot. I just wanted to concentrate on those obscure ones that didn't have a comic book at the time. So, and of course, Spider-Man was during those years too. And I remember my mother used to take care of two other kids, two other friends of mine, babysit them. And one time they came up on a Saturday, and I forgot what they wanted to watch. They wanted to watch something else. And I was like, I remember standing up on my couch going, no, no, no. I says, this is what we watch. We watched this and this and this, and they were all Hanna-Barbera stuff. I said, in Fantastic Four. That was the last one I remember. In Fantastic Four. Because I think they wanted to watch, like, I don't know, Bugs Bunny or something like that. And I'm like, no, I'm watching this and this, Space Ghost, and this, and Herculoids, and Moby Dick, and all that. So, Ookla the Mott. There you go. There you go. I have yet to find that anywhere. You know, now it'd probably cost me an arm and a leg to try and get that, but you never know. Might get lucky. Herculoids and Space Ghost reruns, though, as a child. Yeah, yeah, that's, oh man. I could watch those all day long. I'll put them on sometime on YouTube, because sometimes they uh, have them on, and if I come across them, I'll play a Birdman or whatever, you know, Space Ghost or whatever, because it just, I'm sitting there and it's as if that TV screen just surrounds me. You know what I mean? It just kind of it's like it's giving me a big old hug from the past, saying, hey, welcome back, old friend. Check this out. You know, that's a cool Birdman. Yeah, thank you very much, Michael. I really, you know, who expects to see this? You know, I just happened to fall across it, missed it. I couldn't give him my money fast enough. You know, hit that button. Yeah, 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 yeah. Take it. Take my money. You know, it's just so cool. It's just so cool. I can't say any more. I can say it a million times, but you know, nice card art on that bird. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I don't know who did the art. It doesn't say anywhere on it, I don't think. But I mean, it's just, yeah. Yeah, it was. I'm just very lucky to have gotten that. Graphic Man. It wasn't Hanna-Barbera, but I thought Thundar the Barbarian's cartoon was a good homage to the Hanna-Barbera days. Just a tiny intro that set the stage, but like Herculoid starts you in the middle. Yeah, no, I never was a fan of Thundar. I didn't watch too many episodes. Um, I don't know why. It just didn't grab me. So I'd be looking for superhero I was a superhero guy. I'll always be a superhero guy, I guess. But I do remember it because I have seen some episodes, or I had seen some episodes back when it was on. So okay, all right. So let's go and show some more cartoons. Let's show some more comics. Where are we here for time? A half hour in? Oh my gosh, it's already almost 20 past 11. Wow. Okay. Cool. This is a one shot. And I think Steve Rude did this. Yes, Steve Rude. Right here. This is from 1987. It was written by Mark Evanier and Steve Rude, penciled by Steve Rude, inked by Willie Blyberg. And there's actually a forward written in here by Steve Rude. And I think he did a great job on this. This was, to me, it was true to the spirit and essence of Space Ghost from the TV cartoons series, 66 series. So I really, really enjoyed that. Let's open it up. It's been years since I've looked at it. So let's see what old Steve Rude did. But as I recall, oh yeah, oh look at that, Rogues Gallery for Space Ghost. That's cool. I forgot about that picture. That make a great poster. That would make a great poster, as well as that. That would make a great poster as well. So this was by Comico. And I love the fact that they, in the back, they got it's actually the forward, but they got where is it, down here? You know, they got I forgot what they call them, but it's like they used to call it like a Bible. This is what they look like. This is what you draw. So this was your reference type of thing for them. And they look, if you look, it's very different. Well, not very different, but it was different. Oh, I can't turn this thing to save my life. There we go. I'm gonna redo the lighting in here. But oh yeah. All right. This is just like the last page, but tell me that isn't reminiscent of that 66, 67, 68 series. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Vibrant colors. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Really love it. Oh, and these, I believe, if you guys who are Space Ghost fans, they did a 6-part special on it. I think it was the beginning sometime in 66, I believe it was, when they were first coming on. They did a thing, and all these villains were part of it, called the Council of Doom. And Space Ghost actually crossed over with like the Herculoids. He crossed over with Shazam, I believe. He also crossed over with Mitor, and it was a way. Oh, it might have been 67. Then it was a way to bring these other cartoons into the Saturday morning lineup. So it was pretty cool. For years, it was just a rumor. I remember when I was trying to collect these cartoons on VHS in Comic Buyer's Guide. I actually sent a letter to a fella asking him, listen, do you know anything about the, Council of Doom and the 6-part special, Saturday morning special? It was basically a not issue, 6-episode advertisement basically for the other cartoons. And he goes, the fellow wrote it back, and I still have that paperwork. I think it's in one of the long boxes. And he said, yeah, it's long been rumored that there was a thing. So back in the late 80s, it had been so far removed from 67 that that people didn't even know if it was real or if it was an urban myth, type of thing. But come to find out, yes, there was one indeed, and I actually have that on VHS now. Um, so I mean that was pretty cool. But this book here, really enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean this is out of the this is great. This is great. Give me more of this. I wish Hanna-Barbera would put out a line. I know they did, DC did Future, what is it? Something Future. I think I got one or two issues in this stack here, but I mean, I wish they would do cartoons again and bring these guys back and do like an hour show like the Superman Aquaman hour or Superman Batman hour, and do a show where you got showcase uh, all of them. Do 10-minute episodes. You could fit 4, 5, and maybe in an hour with whatnot. That would be so cool. Can you imagine that, seeing Space Ghost again? Although I know what some of you are thinking. I know what some of you are thinking. Some of you are thinking they'd probably find a way to screw it up. But if there was just one group out there that could take it and do it the way it was meant to be done, like 66 and 67, 68, wouldn't that be great? I'd be there, uh, front and center, appointment television, they'd call it, for me. But anyway, I digress. But Space Ghost by Steve Rude, highly recommend it. This is a great book. I don't think you're gonna have to pay an arm and a leg for it by any means, because I think you can probably even find it sometimes in the dollar bin, But it was definitely worth getting. Then the next one I got here is from Archie Comics, and this is from 1997. Cartoon Network presents, and this is Space Ghost, obviously. The story was by Bill Matheny. Pencils were by Scott Rosima. Inking by Jorge Pacheco. And the cover by Scott Rosima. So we'll open this one up and then we'll go back to the peanut gallery to see what's going on. Okay. Oh yeah, there we go. We got that's some good artwork. Huh. I think so. I would love to see. I've seen Alex Ross do Space Ghost. Does it awesome. I've seen him do all the Hanna-Barbera things in a giant poster type thing. That looks great. But I would love to have seen Neil Adams do Space Ghost. That would have been cool. See Neil Adams draw the Hanna-Barbera superheroes. Can you imagine that? That would have been awesome. That would have been great. Great stuff. It really is. I mean, and this one's got a backup feature of Dino Boy right there. And Dino Boy shared the TV screen in 66, 67, 68 with Space Ghost. There would be 2 Space Ghost episodes and 1 Dino Boy episode. And this is what always they have these bumpers in between episodes, right? And one of the bumpers shows Space Ghost and Jace and Jan in the Phantom Cruiser, and they're flying over, and the Dino Boy and his caveman friend, Ugg. They're being attacked by something, and Space Ghost, shoots a beam down and runs off the bad guy, and then he runs, and then they fly away, and they're waving to each other, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, Dino Boy is in the lost world or whatever. If he wants to get back to his, why didn't Space Ghost help him? Why did you leave the poor kid there? I always wondered that later on, And here we go. They meet up with him in there. Look at that. Now, why isn't he going to take him home? Bring the poor kid home. I don't know. Things that make you go, So, all right. Let's look at the chat here. Herculoids and Space Ghost reruns as a child. Yeah. Yep. I had plenty of those. That's cool. Yeah. Thanks, Michael. Yeah. And it wasn't Hanna-Barbera, but I thought Thundar the Barbarian cartoon was a good homage to Hanna. Okay, yes, I remember. Yeah. Just a tiny intro that set the stage. Yep. Yep. It was very similar to My Tour. When they did the opening for My Tour, gave like a little synopsis of how he became My Tour. B9 is my favorite type of tumor. Okay, took a second, but the Marvel finally rolled around and went down the hole. I got it. Oh my goodness gracious. Friar Talk, Johnny Quest, greatest cartoon of all time. Well, yes, sir. It certainly was a great cartoon. And as I say, everybody's got their favorites. I enjoyed Johnny Quest. I really did. But I'm more, like I've said, I lean towards the superhero guys. Yeah, I used to love TV Guide. I used to cut out ads for TV shows. Oh, yeah. Oh, I used to. Wednesday nights was our grocery night, and we'd go and get the groceries, and it was my duty. It was my duty as we were going through the register to pick out the TV Guide and put it on the conveyor belt to be checked, checked and paid for and bagged. That was my duty. And when we got home, that was the first thing I did was read that TV Guide cover to cover. So I knew where all my cartoons were, where my wrestling shows were, where roller derby. That was the other thing I checked. And then I checked the movie listings for any horror movies. What were the horror movies on Saturday? The Creature Double Feature or the Simon Sanctorum, which was on at like 11 o'clock at night on Channel 5 out of Boston. So great. I love that. That's why I read them. When I buy them and I read them, to me, it's like reading, looking through an old picture book. Photo album. That's what I was trying to say. An old photo album of what life was like back then. Dr. Von Chilla, oh, it's great to have you here in the Peanut Gallery, sir. How you doing? Howdy, y'all. Late to the party. That's okay. Better late than never, right? So glad you made it. Always great to see you in the chat, John. Eric Nesson should run Space Ghost instead of this. Well, I can tell you this much, Eric. If Nesson did run Space Ghost, I wouldn't be disappointed. Oh, let's see here. Friar Tuck, Toonami Aftermath website plays Birdman and Space Ghost cartoons early morning on Saturdays and Sundays. Oh, is that a website or oh, it is a website. You said right on there. Duh. Okay, Toonami Aftermath. I'll have to look that up, Friar. Thank you very much for that information. I'm gonna make a note after we go off the air because that's cool. Spider-Man, Thor, Iron Man as well. Oh, really? Wow. They're showing the Marvel stuff from '66. great. Wow, that's cool. I definitely got to hunt that look that up. Thank you very much, Fry. I really appreciate that, man. And Dr. Von Chilla, actually, the Birdman figure would look better on a T1 body, as all Migos do. Hardcore T1 man right here. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's close. It's close to the Migos, but you know what? I'll take what I can get. I'll take what I can get, Doc. Uh, any Birdman figure I'll take. So great, great, great stuff. Great stuff. Man, Thunder was great for the 80s. Like I said, I never really paid that much attention to it, so I can't really speak too much to it. I do know of it. I know, I've seen I've probably seen maybe 5, 6 episodes, most of it, from back then. I haven't seen any of it since then. Ranger Slide. That was an awesome one-shot. Steve Rude had an obvious love for Space Ghost and other H&B heroes. Yeah, I thought he did a really great job on that. I mean, really a true homage to those 66, 67, 68 cartoons. I love that. I had forgotten. That's the first time I've opened that up probably in 20 years. And so I forgot just how good that was. Now I'm going to leave it out because I'm going to go back and read through it again today. So that was really great. Ranger Sly, Mark Evanier actually wrote for animation. I did not know that. Thank you. Perfect match. Yeah, I would say so. Oh, Mr. Rob Brown, great to have you in the Peanut Gallery today. Good morning, sir. Hey, I caught you live. Hi, guys. And hello to you. Michael Taylor in the 67 Spider-Man cartoon was great. I used to love that cartoon. I always wondered why there was no webbing on the costume, just the mask. Yeah. Can you imagine having to be the animator that had to draw all those webs on that costume if they had to do that? Oh, my goodness gracious. But the only thing I wish they had more of his rogues gallery in that cartoon. I mean, they had Electro. I think didn't they have the Rhino? I think the Rhino was in there. But I would have loved to see somebody like the Shocker or I don't know, not the Punisher. That would have been too much for that early on. Obviously, they didn't even create the Punisher till 70s. But I think it would have been cool to have some of those early ones on. Mysterio, I think they did Mysterio, if I'm not mistaken. And I always thought Mysterio was a pretty cool looking villain. I always liked that little bubble thing and the eyes on his costume there and whatnot. I just thought that was a great costume. So, where am I here? Graphic Man. Michael Taylor, no webbing on the costume allowed them to speed up the, it makes sense. It only makes sense. On a side note, 1950s newspaper strips of Mickey Mouse stopped drawing the tail. Well, that's just plain laziness. Can't draw a tail on Mickey Mouse. Come on. What's wrong with that? That Birdman art is nice. Yeah, it really was. It really is, rather, I should say. Really great. Okay, graphic. Thanks for the info. I didn't like the 80s Space Ghost, but have come to appreciate it. Yeah, it was different than it wasn't quite the same. Whatever. It was the time, different sensibilities, whatever. But the Space Spectre, I love that idea of the Space Spectre, So that's the biggest takeaway was, hey, it was some more Space Ghost. I'll take it. And a really cool villain like Batman's Joker type of thing. I'll take it. So I couldn't complain too much. And Maya Greenblatt says, I have most of my Saturday morning cartoon favorites on DVD now. Yeah, I'm trying to work my way and get all of those. myself. I intend to share all of them and all the other stuff that we have with my grandkids. That's awesome, man. That's cool, Maya. Yeah, start them off early. Get them to appreciate the really good stuff, man. That's awesome. I wish, I wish my kids, uh, neither one of them have any inkling of interest in comics or cartoons. Uh, my daughter grew up on the Nickelodeon. She grew up on Nickelodeon, and about the only cartoon we probably share is uh, SpongeBob, because SpongeBob SquarePants works on like two different levels. It reminds me of like the old Bullwinkle cartoons and stuff like that, where they kind of worked on two different levels, one for kids, one for adults, you know? So, but yeah, that's awesome, Meyer. Good for you. Uh, those kids, I think, are going to love it. Friar Tuck, did the HB cartoons ever cross over? Like I mentioned before, they did in, I believe it was 67. There was a special Saturday morning they set aside where they did Space Ghost crossed over into a number of the other ones. Like I said, My Tour, I remember, Herculoids, Shazam, I think. I think those three definitely they were crossed over into as part of a promotional thing to welcome those other cartoons into the Saturday morning lineup. What was it? Saturday morning Cartooniverse. And you can look on YouTube and look up Cartooniverse, and it'll show you the ad that they did for Saturday mornings with Space Ghost and that. Other than bumpers, that is. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Space Ghost. Southern Comic Geek. Good morning to you, sir. Thanks for joining us. Being part of our great crowd here in the Peanut Gallery. And yes, sir. Who doesn't recognize those words when they're said with the voice of Gary Owens? Space Ghost. I can't do it justice. I don't have the pipes. Yeah, Neil Adams would have drawn a nice Space Ghost. Yeah, I would love to have seen that. I like the way Adams draped Batman's cape over his body. Oh, I just can't imagine what he could do with Space Ghost. I often wonder, like, in his own personal sketch pads that he might have where he just doodles from he might have doodled from time to time, if he ever did one, that would be so cool to see. I can't imagine he went through life and didn't draw a Space Ghost. I see one in a doodle book. I picture that. Friar Tuck, he didn't bring Dino Boy home because it would disrupt the time-space continuum. It is solved. Thank you, sir. I've been wondering that mystery for a long time. Thank you very much. That's awesome. That's great. And it makes sense. I'll go with that. Graphic Man, Space Ghost is like the Watcher. He helps other civilizations, but very sparingly. I see. That's a good, interesting theory, Micah. That probably would explain why he didn't help poor Dino Boy, left him there in the prehistoric planet age or whatever. Dr. Von Chilla, hit that thumbs up for my friend. Well, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that, John. Greatly appreciate it. I just missing my partner here today, so I'm trying to fumble my way through. Shannon is more polished, I think, at me doing it than me. So I miss him this morning. Howler Mouse, hey Tim, great to have you here in the Peanut Gallery this morning. Good morning to you. Had to travel to North Carolina today, but I'm definitely watching this on a rewind tonight. I was dying to watch it live. Oh, well. Yeah, well, thank you very much, Tim. I always appreciate it. I gave you props earlier talking about Astro City. So you'll get a mention in there talking about how Astro City, you got me hooked on Astro City. And now I'm still trying to buy all the issues for Astro City, but it's a great series, and I appreciate you introducing me to that more than you know, because it really is a tremendous series. Great artwork. Of course, Alex Ross covers. You can't beat that. So, but great to have you here. And thanks for checking us out on the Rewind. Talk to you later, buddy. Doc, you do a great job of doing your best to try and get everyone's comments in. I try. I'm not as polished at it as Micah is. Uh, believe me, that's I he's what I'm trying to strive to be as far as getting these comments down. Never been one for public speaking too much, but that's why you could do it on video. And I mean, record a video and post it, and it's like you're not worried too much. But doing it live, man, it adds a little different element to it. So you want to try and, you don't want to embarrass yourself or humiliate yourself, but I do it anyway. All right, let's see here. What do we got? Okay. Mysterio, ready to monologue. I, Mysterio, am ready to monologue. Michael will be the only one that gets that. Gil Kane tried to draw Mysterio. Went crazy, poor guy. I've heard that. Friday Duck, I'm late to the program. I apologize. You're late to the program? I could have sworn you have been here all along. That's okay. We won't tell nobody, Fryer. It's just between you and I. Nostrils on a fishbowl. What on earth? Nostrils on a fishbowl. Yes, I know. It's Gil Kane drawing. Nostrils on a fishbowl. Why does that sound like some kind of, I don't know, maybe some kind of record album, something? Nostrils on a fishbowl. And now, tonight's reading, Nostrils on a Fishbowl. I agree. Laugh out loud for sure. Oh, Dr. Vonchilla, thanks for reminding me. I just pressed this on. Oh, thank you very much, Michael. I appreciate that. Always appreciate you folks. I remember trying to get the recent DC books, but missed a couple of issues, so gave up. Was it any good? I was hit and miss. Some of it was good. They, of course, that Future Quest stuff. They changed some of the characters, which I'm kind of 50-50. I really wanted to see the characters I grew up with in the 60s, but I'll take what I can get. So I still got Space Ghost and, the Phantom Cruiser and all that stuff. I think there's actually somebody put out a model of the Phantom Cruiser, and I got to hunt that down and see, because if that would be awesome. Yeah, that would be awesome. I just got a message from Shannon. He apologizes, says he's not going to be able to make it, which is too bad, because we were holding out hope that he might join us before the end of it. We miss you, brother. We'll be at it next week, though. Let's see here. Top 10 I remember enjoying along with Astro City. Good modern stuff. Yeah, there's some stuff out there. You have to look for it, whatever your preferences are. You just have to search to sift through it. Eric Breen has showed some stuff. I can't remember what the name of the people are, but it's like the Baron Blue or the Blue Baron. That group of characters and stuff like that. That's great. That looks. Was that drawn by Ron Friends, I think? Or was it Buscema? Was it? No, it wasn't. I don't think it was Buscema. Although I don't know, I could be wrong. Eric will tell me. But like that's a great series. That's a great book. If you like stuff from the 70s, which I do, it'd be great. You haven't missed any comments. Yay! Hey, that's a rarity right there, Michael, because I know I missed a bunch of them last week when I went back through and watched the show. I said, oh man, I must have missed about 5 or 6 comments in a block, and I felt so bad. But good morning there, Spinner Rack. How are you, sir? Just joining. We'll have to watch a rewind. I bought Astro City off the rack. Yes, sir. That's a great series, a good book. Really enjoyed the stories and the artwork and everything in it. So I agree with you. It was a great book, you know. And welcome to the Peanut Gallery this morning. Right, like I subscribe based on Gratu, Orloff, and the Four Color Fossils feed and haven't regretted. Well, thank you very much, Frya. I really appreciate that. And I know Shannon does too. We just enjoy talking comics and sharing our stories and hearing the stories that you guys have and talking just like this morning, just talking about memories, you know, and stuff that we enjoy. And I know I speak for Shannon when I say we really do appreciate comments like that and stuff like that. Thank you very, very much. Graphic Man, I have to get back to beautifying my comic boxes. See you later. All right, Micah, take care. Thank you for stopping by this morning, buddy. And don't forget to, if you don't, and I can't believe any of you don't, don't forget the Fossils show every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or whatever time zone you're in. You just have to figure that out because I don't know. All right. Biographic Man. Friends of Buscema on the app. Okay, so it was also Buscema. Okay, good. What was the name of the book though, Micah? Eric, what was the name of the series? Something Brigade or something like that. Watch the Four Color Fossils while there's still time. What are you saying? Is there a Deadpool? Is there a Deadpool going on the fossils? What are you talking about? All right. So we're cutting it close here. We started a little late, but we're gonna go through. I got a couple more things I want to show real quick. The Future Quest by DC. Whoops, let me take that off there. Okay. There's one. It was I enjoyed any chance to see Space Ghost or Birdman or those characters. Any chance to see them, I'll take it. Is it going to be perfect? No, I don't expect it to be perfect because we're no longer in 1967, much to my chagrin. There was one, and here is number 2. More Space Ghost. You know, I meant to pull all the other ones because there's quite a number of others. If you're interested in them, though, they're easy to find and probably easy to get. They're not going to be super expensive by any means. You know. Okay, one of the other things. Okay, this right here is a set of Hanna-Barbera cards. I've had so long, I couldn't tell you when I got them. I would say probably the 90s, but I just want to pop a couple of these out. And of course, most of the cards are like characters like this. Wally Gator. Hey, Wally Gator, he's a swinging navigator in the swamp. See you later, Wally Gator. I used to love Wally Gator. And of course, Top Cat. Top Cat. I don't know all the words to Top Cat, so I spare you guys that one. But also in there, they give us a Space Ghost card. Love it. And then we got the Impossibles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And this one here is Shazam. There we go. There we go. Shazam, and bringing up the rear, Secret Squirrel and Morocco Mole. Gee, Secret? What do you mean? It was Peter Lorre. I don't think he really voiced the character, but he might have. And then Adamant. Up and down, Adamant. So I wanted to share those. And like I said, there's a ton of them, but most of them are like the Jetsons, which is fine. I like all of them, but I just wish there was more. I wish they could have done like one for all the superheroes. You know, Mytor, Birdman, Young Samson, Goliath, stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. Magilla Gorilla. Magilla Gorilla for sale. Magilla Gorilla. Love that stuff. Okay. It is getting close to closing time here. But I have one last thing that I want to show you guys. It's something that I've never seen anybody else say that they had, or you know, as part of their collection or anything like that. So I'm kind of you know, excited that I have this in my collection. I've had it since the days of the Comic Buyer's Guide, because I bought it through the ads in the back of those, just like I've mentioned several times before today. And first off, this right here is a VHS copy of the 1967 Hanna-Barbera Fantastic Four cartoon. I believe it's Blastar. It's the episode with Blastar, right? Well, why are you showing that to us, Dr. Silver Age? Why are you showing us that thing? Well, let me show you why. Because there was an ad in the back of Comic Buyer's Guide. Said 2 16 millimeter reels of Hanna-Barbera cartoons. One was 1967 Hanna-Barbera Fantastic Four Blastar. The other one was an episode of Mighty Mytor and Moby Dick. And these are those reels. I've showed them once or twice before, but but they literally are the reels of the cartoon. So, I mean, these it was so weird and rare that, I mean, really, they're selling. I didn't have any way to show them, you know, but I just knew I had to have them. You know, Mytor and Fantastic Four, absolutely. You know, so I got them. I mean, they're in like official, you know, World Vision Enterprises. You know, where did it say? Yeah, right here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but right there it says Moby Dick, right? Yeah, Moby Dick, and then below it says Mytor, and I don't know what that number system means, but right here it says Moby Dick and Mytor. You know, so I mean, this is. I don't know what I'd ever do with it. All I know is I have it. You know, it's just one of those things that, you know. And does this one have anything written on it? It says something there, but I can't read it. Yeah, there's something written on there, but I can't read it. And that would be probably, it's a Fantastic Four or whatever, you know. So, but yeah, I've never heard of anybody owning any of these or anything like that. If you know of anybody, I'd be interested to hear their story on it. Like I said, I don't have any way to show them, but I did take them to a way back in the day, the late 80s. There were companies that would take reels of family footage and stuff like that and put it on VHS tapes. And so I did that with the Fantastic Four one. They were very apprehensive about it. They were worried about copywriting even then. I said, it's not going anywhere. It's going in my personal collection. It's just for me. I have no other way to view these. So I had them do that, and they were nice enough to do that. I don't believe it has any sound. There was no way to do the sound. So, but anyway, I thought that would be something neat to show. So let's go to the chat one more time here. Let's see. I can't remember the title you're thinking of. I know the Blue Baron. Yeah, I know the Blue Baron was, maybe that was it. There's one called the Blue Baron. I think that might be it, Eric. I think that's the only one that I have. I'm trying to get the other ones, but that was a really, really good good series or good book. Let's see. I skipped ahead, so let's see. Okay, there should be. Yeah, Liberty Brigade, something like that. It was something like that. I can't remember, Ranger. I really can't. I'm not doing myself, not doing justice to it. I love Steve Rude on Space Ghost. Yes, absolutely. Hey, there was a great job he did on that. I showed that one earlier. I can't remember the time. Yeah, Blue Baron. Yeah. Wally Gator, one of my favorites. Lippy the Lion and Hardy Har. I love those things. Those are great. I mean, I'm a fan of all cartoons. I play down the fact that the funny animal cartoons. I play down, like, it almost makes it seem like I don't like them, but I do. Those ones like Wally Gator, Lippy the Lion, McGilly Gorilla. Those, I enjoyed those for what they were. As a kid, who doesn't enjoy those? I enjoy them now. I probably enjoy them more now because of the nostalgia factor too. But they're just great stuff. I love that Future Quest series. I've done a couple of sketch covers for it. Oh, really? Oh, cool. That's awesome. I didn't know that. I'll have to find out which ones you did and pull them out of my collection here. He's the top. He's the tip. He's the championship. He's the most tip top cat. Yeah, great man. There you go, brother. Love it. Love it. Cartoons don't have theme songs anymore. Nobody has. Remember, who out there remembers King Kong? You remember that from the 60s? I always loved that theme song. King Kong, you know the name of King Kong. You know the fame of King Kong. 10 times as big as a man. Love that. I love that. Whoops, where did it go? There we go. Michael Taylor says, I see the original Ghost Rider on your spinner rack. The Calico Kid was the original Ghost Rider. Oh, yes, I have this little doodad there. So, let's see. Very cool, Doc, that you still have those reels. Yeah, I mean, I can't do anything with them, but it's just the fact that I have a reel of my tour and Fantastic Four cartoons. For some reason, that gives me joy, and that's all that matters, I guess, to me. Is it just brings me joy. When are you hosting movie night? Oh man, wouldn't that be funny? Yeah, do my own version of what is it, Mystery Theater 3000 or whatever. Oh my gosh. Squidly Diddly was a big influence on me. I almost joined the Navy because of him. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Squidly Diddly, that's one that you don't hear about too often. He doesn't get brought up in conversation too often. Okay, well, folks, it is 12:02. Oh, well, I'm surprised I made it for 2 hours. Thank you all for putting up with me. I really appreciate y'all hanging out. Eric, what do you say? If you ask nicely, Rod will show you his Nickelodeon machine from his childhood. Another nickel in the Nickelodeon. Come on, I love that. Who doesn't love Nickelodeon? And what do you say? I had a blast. Well, thank you very much, Michael. Greatly appreciate it, and always appreciate you folks in the peanut gallery. You make up half this show, man. Without you, it's a little tougher. Let me tell you, I love hearing the stories. I love sharing the memories with you, same as Shannon does. You know, we look forward to this. I know he's really bummed that he didn't get a chance to be on this show. But he'll be back next week, and we'll be back at it again and sharing stories and memories and having fun. Just like just conversation, man. Just conversation. Uh, uh, I can't say it enough. I just love hanging out with you guys and just sharing memories. And this was a real blast for me, in the sense of it's a topic that is really near and dear to my heart. So I loved talking about it. And thank you for letting me just go on, and thank you for sharing your stories with these about these characters and cartoons and whatnot. Thank you, Eric. I really appreciate that, sir. And yes, we will see him next week. We will be back to normal, and everything will be copacetic in the world. So anyway, I've held you guys on long enough. I'm sure some of you are hungry. I know I am. I'm gonna go check the wood stove too, because it is freezing down here. So we will see you all again next week. First, I'm going to play this week's uh, community channel of the week. Let me just put it on. It is I Love Disney. Oh, then we go back to the comments. All right. So everybody, have a great week, and we will see you back here for some more fun memories and stories next week. And Shannon will be back. So thanks a lot, guys. Take care.